I'm Audrey Shulman. I'd like us all to just for 1 minute discuss like what is the most painful thing that's happened for you since January in terms of what's happening in the country. And this is our intent. The intent here is to bond people and to help us figure out how to work together to be funny, to get action, and to begin to increase our networks to be able to find common purpose in this country. So, and I'll go before January, I'm gonna say Roe versus Wade.
Wow, where to start? I'll just say.
And then it gets fun and funny
Great. The thing that came to mind first was just the number of trans friends whose access to healthcare is, and just like everyday life is being threatened right now.
Oh golly, I work in public media and education, I'm queer and have a gay son, so just, I mean, it's like every aspect of, I guess what I'm passionate about, and all the people that I know. So, yeah.
I'd say for the work that we do and for me personally, it's been mainly around the immigration situation. And we just Friday morning, there was Mayor Wu in Boston had her coffee hour thing where she goes around different neighborhoods. And we have one of our members whose husband was picked up, and he has temporary protected status, so he is documented, but he's still being held in a detention facility. So we've been working with his wife, and he's been here for 30 years, no criminal record or anything, and with children that are US citizens born here. And so we brought the wife in to the coffee hour to talk to Mayor Wu, and that is just one story out of hundreds that we've been having in the community. So that's been a real drain.
Oh, there's a lot of competition for this.
Yeah.
So, that the really small window we had on trying to make our climate livable slammed shut.
Yeah.
So our sessions compete at 3:30, I'd say please come to mine, and Judith has told me before that I am too optimistic. And so I've taken that to heart, and I always try to, check that. Anyway, so I'm calling this bureaucratic blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, I looked it up, 1939, the word was invented in 1939. Lightning war, constant, incessant, purposeful, intentional.
Opening up the northwestern Hawaiian Islands, I mean, I could say everything, I just can't. But there's another one that just slipped on, I mean, everything, honestly, but,
Well, I interpreted your question a little differently because you said the most painful thing that's happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like I have a lot of privilege. I haven't lost my job. I haven't been picked up. My own children have not lost anything yet. And so for me, the most painful thing is this feeling of kind of frozen helplessness that I've had since January. And I've been trying to figure out where my place is in this revolution that needs to happen and not being able to figure that out is the most painful thing.
Yeah, I feel that. I guess I'll get super personal. Like, I'm privileged enough that I'm not personally directly affected. But I certainly feel very strongly for everything that's happening for, immigrants or even people that are not immigrants and just happen to look the wrong way or talk, the wrong way or not speak English, whatever. But I think, since January, since the inauguration, I have a tendency to, to kind of succumb to a lot of the bureaucratic blitzkrieg, as you said, in terms of like all the information overload and what everything that's happening and get very bogged down in that and depressed and you know, I'm recently married, like just got married about a year ago, and you know, personally a very painful thing has been coming to terms with, like, you know, as we were talking about in the last session, like do I want to have kids? Do I want to bring that into this world?
Yeah.
Like trying, you know, and I appreciate the last session in terms of imagining a livable and more positive future, because it's so hard to do that right now. And to imagine, like, you know, generating new life and, you know, if I can conscionably kind of do that. So, yeah.
Are we gonna vote on this?
I'm Mayim. I do find a lot of positive and hopeful things also still happening, but what is painful for me is that I had a home in Japan for many years and I haven't been back since before COVID, and I was planning to go this fall. And I feel very ambivalent about traveling right now. Yeah, the isolation of the US really distresses me.
I think I see the threat to democracy as my biggest concern, because I watch other countries that have lost their democracy, and every issue that everybody's talked about sort of falls under that and crumbles as you lose your democracy. And so I'm very concerned about that.
I'll pick out from everything. I'll pick out one personal disappointment. A few months ago, I decided to try to help in some little way by signing up to help immigrants learn English. We would just do conversations with them, and we actually laughed a lot. It was actually really great for a few weeks, and then they stopped coming. And I don't know what happened, but it showed that they were fearful, or they despaired, like they didn't think they would stay. So, and maybe they afraid ICE would find them. So I'm very disappointed.
It's like the Holocaust again, which is really depressing.
Yeah.
An environmental and
Human rights disaster.
So thank you for everybody for sharing. I know that that's hard to do.
What's yours?
So many to pick from. And I started off by saying Roe versus Wade was, and that was before, so I broke my own rules starting off. But just everything everybody said has also deeply resonated, and it's crappy.
Yeah.
So, and I think, as we've already pointed out, that from all that's happened, we all get overwhelmed with depression and fear. And that doesn't inspire action, right? We all sit at home, we're alone, we're helpless. We're like, we know something has to be done, but we don't know what. And it's like a vibration inside of us. It's terrible, right? And so instead, humor is all different. Humor and laughter, it makes us, you know, it looks fun, right? As opposed to everybody being sad and upset. It creates connection. You immediately connect with other people at that demonstration. You connect with other people making fun of what's going on and showing the craziness of this in, you know, the US. And it inspires action, and it makes us brave. When you laugh, the situation is less scary. It's less overwhelming. Yeah.
It could be seen as an act of resistance.
It's not only seen as it is. And so,
Can't steal our joy.
yes,
What is it?
can't steal our joy, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
And so we, like in comparison, like, you know, stuff is happening in Russia and has been for decades, and still people are fighting. We have not even started. So let's start. Let's hold on to what we have in this country. So Laughtivism, it's a, you know, combination of laughing and activism. It is non-violent and it is fun. And it is something that it's really hard for people to push, for people in power to push back at, because they look like idiots if they push back against something funny. It's been an effective, lovely action used in all sorts of countries around the world.
Paddy wagon full of clowns, it's just a great image.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna go through a few different, Laughtivism, events. And, you all are gonna participate and help, so each one, if I do this right, let me see if I got this right, yeah. So the first two are from my experience, right, from things I've done. So this is the goal. I work with, I work in climate, solutions. I did a lot of work with gas leaks. And so the goal of the activism, the Laughtivism, was to convey that gas leaks, natural gas leaks from pipes under the ground, do not get fixed quickly. And so I'm gonna show you what I did, and then we'll go to other ones, and you all are going to automatically jump, creatively throw out ideas of what could be done to meet that goal of what you want to convey, all right? So I found some arcane gas leak data, and found that there was one gas leak that was 29 years old, about to come up to its 30th year. So we had a birthday party. And I made the comparison that gas leak was old enough to have been listening to the Bee Gees, and because it was a while ago. And we had the birthday cake, but without, we didn't light the candles because it's a gas leak. And so this got, a lot of good press, and that's what humor can do, because media loves humor. So the next one, when gas pipes leak, customers pay for the lost gas, was the intent of what we wanted to convey. So it's always, each time you choose a narrow issue, and then you try to figure out how to display it in a funny way. So this time what we did was we had a leaky lemonade stand where we had kids selling lemonade, and they first punched holes in the bottom of the cup and then filled it with lemonade and handed it over. And so the customers were paying for the lost lemonade, which is what you do with gas when you have a gas leak. And the kids, you can see, are just looking so sweet and innocent, which is lovely. Okay, now you're all gonna start making guesses about how to do this, because part of this is just figuring out how to think creatively. So in China, the smog there can be horrific, right? But the people are not allowed to demonstrate in any way. They can't do demonstrations, police will crack down on them. So if you were trying to show how to, that, Chinese smog is, the smog is just terrible, what would you do? Any thoughts? And there are, this is, with creativity, I always say, okay, start off with dumb things, obvious stuff, and then you go, and just throw out, just like talk.
I'm just picturing like people walking around with like the masks, but on the mask is like a smiley face or something, like they have to pretend that everything is sort of okay.
Yep.
I would say people would wear scuba gear with oxygen tanks.
Yep.
I think that the white flag is a universal sign of surrender. You could carry a white flag, but it's all covered with schmutz.
All of those are lovely ideas, and several are actually close to what they did. They weren't allowed to demonstrate, so every activity they did that was, like parades, parties, weddings, they always, people would wear gas masks, get lots of photos and share those on social media. So it was a way of demonstrating without having a demonstration. And so this one, car drivers are killing a lot of pedestrians. This was in Bogota. And they tried out having traffic cops, but the cars paid no attention to the traffic cops and people kept getting killed. Thoughts? How would you work on that one?
You could make the traffic cops like, very flashy, humorous, like I don't know, like flight directors or like clowns or like something that people want to look at them because they're funny to look at
Yes,
in some way.
and that's just spot on, so. They had and this radically cut down the number of traffic fatalities.
Wow.
And, brought on more tourists. So, yep,
Not to be nitpicky, but were those the traffic cops dressing up, or?
they were
just-
professional mimes, so it also employed, mimes who do not normally get a lot of paying for, gigs, yeah. So this is one of my favorites, native,
So many questions about that, sorry.
By the way,
Yeah.
someone suggested planting something in the smog. I want to allow the people to participate who are on Zoom.
okay, thank you for the suggestion. Native Americans have been treated unfairly, and perhaps this question isn't specific enough. Reservations are horrible, is the best way I can say what they were trying to convey. Any thoughts on how to, that's a big subject.
I would have a big sale of treaty land. Come and buy your treaty land. Might be oil on it, might be gas.
It's a,
Uranium tailings.
Yeah,
yes,
they got lots of them.
yeah, that's a good, it's very close, actually. Other thoughts, ideas? Okay, so it was, when Alcatraz was closed down, they went in and, Native Americans went in and said like, hey, since you guys aren't using it anymore, we'll buy
taking
it
it back.
from you for $24 worth of beads and some red cloth. And out of, great respect for you, we'll, do this in a very, honorable way. It was, and what was the other, and this is just a perfect place for us to be because all reservations are sort of distant from civilization, have no running water, are really hard to live in, have no minerals, and so on and so forth. And they, I find that one amazing. Okay, wealthy folks think that they can survive without the planet. Thoughts? How would you convey that?
Oh, just, let's see,
Launch
space
them all off the
weapons.
planet.
What's that?
Yes,
I said launch them all to Mars.
some of them are trying.
Yes, they are. One of them's a cousin.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Just having I think of like food, like plants, whatever, but having like a dinner plate, but it only has like dollar bills on it or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lovely idea.
I think some kind of protective circle around yourself and saying, I'll survive, I'm
Bubble.
rich. Yeah, a bubble,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, something that's sort of like your own personal Mars bubble,
yeah.
or like, something that,
You guys are amazing at this. So, the Yes Man, a famous satire group, created the survival ball. They said it was invented by Halliburton, and it was on sale, and they have a beautiful design for it, and it's got like the water and the food and everything else in there. So, you all are great at this.
So we, 350, when we did the Gloucester Horribles parade, it is a long parade. Most of us were dressed like methane bubbles with those big ugly orange
Orange,
posters.
yeah.
Our friend Nathan, you know Nathan very well.
Yes.
Dressed as a tree, and we kept surrounding him and killing him. He must have died 25 times on the roof. He'd go, ah, and he'd go, ah. So it was just like a very clear, funny visual of what gas does.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and of course Nathan would be.
Yes.
involved in that one. Okay. Gender programming starts early with kids. Thoughts?
I'm sorry, two robots have never parented a child. Just get crazy silly.
Oh, yeah, just go with the programming
Yeah.
concept.
I feel like I've gotten to share, but like I wonder, like essentially some of these seem to essentially take the idea and go to the extreme as a form of parody.
Yes,
And
satire.
therefore, satire. So I'm like, what is it that is not yet gendered, which most things are, it seems, that, is there something that's like, I don't know, at the very first,
Car.
yeah, like, I've been at satire parties of gender reveal,
Mm.
okay, like gender reveal cake parties where like queer community like got together for a big gender reveal of a house. Things like that, and you cut into the cake and it's a rainbow cake and like, things like that, but it's, yeah, I could imagine basically going to the extremes on like what else could we put pink frills on and, monster trucks and whatever.
Yes, yep, that's a good idea.
Or I could imagine in a preschool classroom, say the teacher saying, okay, here's the water fountain for the boys and here's the water fountain for the girls. And
Yes, painful thought, yes.
Rainbow baby food?
Yeah. Or pink and blue baby food, yeah.
It might be, I don't know, it feels a little dark, but like, just, I think when I think of gender, like, traditionally men are in like the military, whatever, so having like little baby boys in like military outfits or something like that.
Oh my God, that's what we're doing on the 14th.
Oh,
We made these rainbow tanks and people are gonna wear tank tops
Yeah,
and carry it through. And-
Yeah.
and-
yeah.
The online participants suggest drawing a mustache on a boy baby and having everything in black and white.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome, okay. So in the 1990s, they had the Barbie Liberation Group where they bought Barbies and GI Joes, it took them home, popped out the voice boxes and exchanged them. So Barbie said things like, I will kill all of you. And GI Joe said, "You look lovely today." And then they put them back in the stores.
Oh,
Funny.
And it happened like all over the country and got a lot of press. Yeah. So you got the idea and you're really good at it. So Laughtivism, you have a clear, specific goal. Always, that's the most important thing. As soon as you have the clear, specific goal, then you can, it's automatic. You're all coming up with the great, beautiful ideas. It has to be funny and fun, make people want to participate and to pay attention to the issue and retell what happened, right? You hear about the Barbie Liberation thing, you want to tell somebody else, like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And it gets press and it gets viral media, which now is really important, partly because, like at all the demonstrations, if you've been at them, the majority of the people there are old white folk. They're not doing social media, right? We need to pull in younger people to be able to participate. And I think at this point, in general, white folk might be the people who are most safe to be able to do these demonstrations. So we should be taking the burden of some of this. And media of all kinds wants eyeballs on that media, so they will pay attention to things that are funny. So there's 3 different things we want to do now. 1, bond with other people here today to begin to create a working group on this. See who has humor similar to yours, ideas that are also with different skills, possibly, if you can. That's extra credit. 2, I don't give a, Democrats, we already know, right? We understand. We don't care to impact them. What we do care is impacting centrist Republicans. And we have to get that through our skulls. So let's talk to centrist Republicans. We have to make humor that will work for them. Because if we can peel off a few centrist Republicans in Congress, we can shift things dramatically. And that's really important because like every time I talked about this with different people, they're like centrist, I don't know any. Do you know a Republican? Like, it's just insane. How can we not, we have to be talking across, we have to be working. We have to know what makes centrist Republicans uncomfortable with what's going on and help amplify it. And then 3, if you can, partner with young people to utilize social media to get them involved. That is the thing that is the lever that can open up so much impact in a moment. Kids, it's the same as like, who can we all need an IT person with us all the time, so we bring our like 12-year-olds. Talk to the kids in your life. So, now the question, what are the issues that centrist Republicans care about? And to make it more specific, let's talk about the big beautiful bill. What's going to offend a centrist Republican the most? Think, yeah, go ahead.
Well, at 3:30, I'm gonna talk about the climate aspects. But is that what you're asking about?
It's not what's going to upset you, what's going to upset a centrist Republican.
Well, I would say it would upset any caring person, which I do include centrist Republican, many centrist,
How can you frame it in a centrist Republican way? There are ways in which Republicans think about climate, think about
It's not,
conservation.
I don't get to funny very quickly, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay, just, it doesn't have to be funny, what are the issues that they care?
It's killing normal economics, it's killing, like,
Yes.
if one wants least cost power and energy,
Yes,
it kills that.
Yeah.
It's working totally against that in every
Yep.
way, everyone.
Yep.
For instance,
People with empty pockets and money on the ground, something like that, blowing away.
yes, and we don't have to go funny yet, but it's
okay,
lovely to
sorry.
do that if you want. We can just name the issues and then go to more humor, but I'm gonna
And
hold
from
that.
the chat, we have predictability for your business has gone out the window.
Right. They have been lied to about the economy, about civil rights, about Medicaid. They've been lied to. Repeat.
Yeah, and I think Medicaid's a huge one, and the economic, the predictability, the low-cost energy.
I think the big one is energy independence is used repeatedly. And so, but the solution that the administration is proposing for independence is to shackle us to a utility company. When the stuff that they are supposedly fighting against, like solar panels, are going to be the actual independence. It's going to be the way to live off the grid, is to actually take control of the grid.
Right, it's sort of,
Inflation?
And how inflation, just because everything that's happening is likely to start inflation.
Right, and prices are going up, and that's what they promised to bring down.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, really funny. I know balloons are environmentally horrible. If you had a hydrogen balloon with rising prices.
We also have the loss of the US credit rating and the price of eggs, which is what we're talking about.
oh, yeah.
Right, the financial markets.
yeah, I was gonna build on, just in terms of, rhetoric or messaging. Like, I think of messaging around energy independence, but also independence and freedom in general, like, yeah, freedom fighters, having sort of autonomy, there's a lot of focus on autonomy and freedom. And yeah, a lot of contradictions you could play on there.
Right.
What is G.I. Joe fighting for?
I think we can all share this one. The loss of leadership in science and industry.
Running the White House. Sorry.
Do you think, well, maybe centrist Republicans care about that?
What? So, sorry, I missed.
The loss of leadership in science and industry.
And
I don't think they realize we've lost leadership in industry, but we definitely are.
how could that be phrased in a way that centrist Republicans, so imagine somebody in Ohio, is gonna care about?
Lower tax revenues, because people are gonna be leaving the country, businesses will leave the country.
They'll get sick.
Your workers are being disappeared.
we're definitely not.
And that's
level.
happening in a lot of conservative industries, and it's,
Your tourism revenues are going down because people don't wanna visit the country. If you don't allow foreign students into the country, you're losing a lot of revenue there. Because not only do they pay for education, they have to live.
So someone asked, what is America first in anymore?
I was just gonna say that.
If your soil is
We're-
making you
we're
sick
number
and you
one.
have cancer, who's gonna do the
We're number
research
one
and
is such a
who's gonna care
resident.
for you?
Sorry.
Yeah,
We're-
that's
We're
so
number one is such a
important to
resonant
them.
phrase
Yeah.
in so many contexts.
More cancers
I
than
was
any
thinking,
other.
you know, make America second rate.
Yes, not even, it's lower than second, that's the problem.
Sorry, go ahead back there.
Much.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like too broad or any, some of us kind of already said this, but like being, confronting the idea that you may be proportionately more responsible, like for contributing tax revenue and like for contributing to community if you quote unquote like worked harder to get to where you are, you know, in terms of like having a business and profits and like being a wealthier person and having like, yeah, like a greater tax rate, which might be, you know.
So let me, I think I missed that somewhere. So if you worked harder and you have a lot of money, then
Right,
you-
like despite the idea that like, you know, like you said, independence and freedom, like, you know, I'm an independent business owner and I worked hard and blah, 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 and I got to work hard, so hard to get to where I am, so why should I be more, you know, proportionately more responsible for providing tax revenue, like having a greater tax rate to care for the people in my community that didn't work as hard as I did or whatever, you know, like having just a fair kind of tax rate based on your level of wealth.
yeah, it would, so, but I think, as I understand the big beautiful bill, I thought it was that it made wealthier people to pay less taxes.
Right, well, okay, well, I'm just thinking of things that would make people upset.
Yeah, but maybe,
okay.
but I think, but I would take what you said and change it slightly and say like maybe people who've worked hard their whole lives are suddenly having to pay much more.
Right.
Who have not yet reached that, you know,
Sure.
1%, that 0.5%
Sure.
of,
Yeah,
other,
Just on the economic front again, foreign trading partners don't trust us anymore.
Yep.
I don't know if that really
Right.
matters to a centrist.
And where it's putting money in is contributing to a dangerously warming planet.
Yeah, and on a, I don't know, a very meta level, there's something about, Sam, what you said is making me think about like, what is mine is mine. And what that sort of mentality of like, this is, I did the work and so I deserve X, Y, and Z.
right,
You know, and other people who are now living in a time when rents are skyrocketing and you can't afford, like, could be working just as hard. But anyway, but I think from a kind of the centrist Republican perspective, like, what you put in, you deserve, and you get like this sort of sense of like, what I deserve, what is my rights, and I also just add like American flags.
yes, whatever
many-
happens, you have to have American flags.
Lots of American flags, lots of like, you know, whatever that kind of low grade or high grade nationalism is.
So if you're a wealthier centrist Republican, maybe it matters that you'll only be able to afford $2.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, that's an economic thing, back to the tariffs.
There was a great, best Instagram.
Individualized, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, there was a, sorry, keep going. I'm sure I forgot after. I have a friend who's Japanese and he's in Japan. There was a great post that was very, very funny about people traveling, trying to get back in, who are in higher ed.
Yes.
Or anyone really who's foreign born, and kind of filling their Instagram or photos with like how to get back into the US. I don't know if anyone's seen this. It's from Best Belk ad on Instagram. And basically it's got like all of like, I'm
The
sorry, my
imagery.
phone's so small, the imaging is so
The flags,
hilarious. The
ladies,
flag,
Statue of
Trump,
Liberty.
the brothers,
Hot
hot
dog.
dogs, ranch dressing, Jesus and Trump, and I mean, it is just, and it's Trump like as superhero, and I don't know, it's not going to go after like converting anybody, but it does get to kind of the heart of where the messaging mind is to the
Right.
extreme,
Yes,
but then dialing that back to, you know, where the heart of, you know, things are right now.
And
Yeah.
It
I
is
don't
now
know if
after 12:10, by the way, so we should, and lunch is at 12:30, but I guess we can keep going for a while.
I mean, I don't know, again, if this is what centrist Republicans care about, but, you know, Medicaid and
yes,
the way they structured the cuts to happen after the midterms, you know, unfortunately, I don't think that happens soon enough to make a big enough impact. Like, I don't think people will realize how much they're affected by that. But I would think that that's something that some of those people would care about, depending on, you know, are they centrist, are they MAGA, and how much they're affected by Medicaid, or how
Yeah.
much their community is.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, let me tweak it a little bit. Maybe those who will be centrist Republicans who will be more affected are those who have elderly parents in nursing homes,
Mhm.
because that's, you know, they themselves may not be on Medicaid, but their parents may be in a nursing home that's gonna be affected.
Somebody suggests in Zoom that the beautiful in the bill could be an opportunity for humor. Lipstick on a pig, or a gold-plated manure pile, or burying a view in a national park. Manure burying a view, yeah.
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 So, I'm gonna say something about that, and, you know, even repeating the notion with the words big and beautiful, it's obscene and a pile of shit, you know? So, where's the messaging come from? Why does every form of media that any of us pay attention to repeat such messaging? And and I appreciate that the word centrist is there, but like, where is the center of the country? It's not in Republicans, it's somewhere in the middle. And somewhere in the middle should be a huge comedy institute that the media instantly turns to at every opportunity to say, here's the reality.
And
And it's, maybe I just called it, maybe it's called Comedy Central.
But how do you, unlike when I grew up, you had ABC, NBC, and CBS. Now your media is so diverse that you're not getting, I mean, ABC, NBC, and CBS, you just had to decide which moderator you liked. And, but the news was all pretty consistent. Was it always truthful? Who knows? But now that's not the case, and the thing is, you could have somebody who's giving straight news, but the two ends are not watching it.
And I'm
So
saying
how,
that
how do you get that
everyone's-
message across?
I'm saying much less than that, just that everyone is repeating the obscene as though it's how it should be referred to.
Yes.
Big and beautiful it is not, but that's how it's referred to in every media source repeats.
Well, it is
And they
big.
should. What's
It
that?
is big. It's a big bill. It's the word, the beautiful
The
is,
name of the bill,
Is the big
the name, they named the bill,
Big beautiful bill.
yes,
Should be
but,
referred to that way, I'm saying.
no, let's
You know,
take beautiful
like
out
if
and use some.
somebody used obscenities
Right, well, there are,
as the name of a bill,
yeah,
it
there are a bunch
wouldn't
of
be
people.
repeated by media.
Yeah, you're right.
somebody pointed out that irony does not work in an autocracy, or is not tolerated.
Well, we've gotten to the point where some of the satire, like The Onion,
It's hard.
it's hard to distinguish it from the
Yes.
reality,
Yeah.
and that's,
Yeah.
but Big Beautiful Bill makes me think you get a really large guy named Bill and dress him up in drag or something.
God,
and
that's
have him
awesome.
step out and, hi, I'm Big Beautiful Bill.
That's fabulous.
That's excellent,
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, you should really send that idea to somebody. That's great.
I also, I think, and thinking about like some of the examples you had here are ones that I feel like the line between comedy or Laughtivism and street theater is
Yeah.
fluid. And I'm just thinking of like, what are the things that are like easily replicable? Like,
Yes.
could be, you know, a whole bunch of people with minimal like props or like experience as comedians could do. And
Yeah.
and that is the kind of thing that
Yeah.
I feel like in every community, you could have a big, beautiful bill that then,
How about
you know,
calling it the
delivers
big,
their
beautiful
message or their
pile of
show.
shit?
So Al Franken, you gotta bring back Al Franken.
Yeah.
Well, and they all care about their children. Everybody cares about their children. So digging in around what they're doing to education.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Yeah, but how do you make it humorous? I mean, the whole thing, person Greg, I think that would even get Trump's attention. Even if it were on a minor news station, I think he would go ballistic.
Yeah, you have a front of a school, and you have a hear no, see no, speak no, our education system.
Or what if you taking on the, Bill has a lot of meanings, right? There's,
too. Sorry, I'm riffing off of Bill.
That's how it works.
He's naked, he's up there, he's huge.
Wow.
I think SNL could have the biggest field day with Big Beautiful Bill, I really do.
Oh, yeah.
They'd hire you right
I
away.
know.
I guess, yeah.
I gotta, yeah, oh.
but there's also a bill on a duck. And
Yeah.
so
Oh,
what if
yeah.
you're a big, beautiful bill on a duck, and the duck is waddling down the street, shitting as it goes.
Shitting dollar bills is what he's shitting,
Yeah,
sorry.
$1 bills.
Oh,
With
there
like,
you go.
yeah, with
That's
something
why
on
they
it
play
that are
on-
not US
it's also
bills,
play on
actually.
words.
It's a play on the word bill.
Or it could
Oh
be
my
Scrooge,
gosh.
Scrooge
And then you get,
McDuck.
like, everyone else
Someone
all like
refers to
bills.
Scrooge
Yeah.
McDuck
Or
and
receive your bill, your big bill from the government.
I-
That's what it looks like,
That's
I
the
owe
big,
them
beautiful
this.
bill.
And honestly, folks, that's what Trump is gonna do before the midterms. He's gonna send everybody money stamped with his face on it, so just be prepared. Which is gonna be terrifying.
Because he did that in 2020.
Yeah, so just be prepared, because I think that's where this is headed. But anyway, all that to be said, yeah, I think, I don't know, yeah.
I mean, I think to the point, there's a part of this that is, the humor, especially the ridicule, is great to use against people like Trump, because they are so sensitive to that.
Yeah.
I mean, Obama just sat there and it just like water off a duck's back.
But
But with
reaction.
Trump, this whole thing with him and Musk just shows you how juvenile he is. So if you go juvenile, he goes even worse. So, I mean, there's that, but to your point of getting that centrist Republican or the independent, of trying to peel them off, it's a much more subtle, you can't really go hard at them so much as you go hard at the issue. So trying,
Right.
you
They
need
are
a lot more
100%.
finesse on that bocce ball when you toss it to get it right where you need it, because I do think there's a lot of like they are all against running up debt. They view the US economy as being like your domestic economy. Don't run up your credit card and stuff. And then the Republicans do nothing but run up the credit card like a drunken college student every single time. And they call home to the parents and say, can you pay off the credit card? I just ran it up again. And it was Clinton paid it off one time, Obama did it the next time, and now we're here again with them running it up. And that's where I think it connects to those centrist Republicans, is that they do, even like Rand Paul, it's always frightening when I'm agreeing with Rand Paul, but he is saying, this is not good, I will not vote on this bill because it's just ballooning the deficit. And he's right, it is.
So the politicians, the centrist Republican politicians don't like it, but do you think the centrist American Republican, or the populace understands that?
I don't think the populace might, but I think the people who may have voted against
Enough
some of the
of a
social
margin.
agendas that were at play may understand the economics enough to say that they would vote against this bill and some of what's happening.
And
So-
clean air and clean water are taking such a hit, and they have
Yes.
children,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you could also bathe in the Rock Creek Park.
Baby what?
Bathe in Rock Creek Park.
Like Kennedy's
Yeah.
golf course is what, grandchildren?
So that's,
there?
so
that's-
that's how much understanding people tend to have.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem, you have to hit an issue that people understand, because there's so many people who don't pay attention. Was it Alex Wagner? I think it was before the election. She was out in the field and she was talking to auto workers in Detroit. And what was coming out of their mouths, I would say mostly a 40 and under set, you were like, okay, have you ever watched like straight news or read a newspaper? Because
And the answer is no.
because then there were other people who were probably more my age or a little younger, and one of the guys just like was so upset with the ignorance that of the people that he was working with, he just like laid into them. So I just feel like, I mean, I'm probably not good at this, but find the issue or the part of the issue that people have some inkling about and then
Yes,
turn it into humor,
Yeah,
but
you
it
have-
has to be something that they like
Care about.
understand and somewhat are engaged with.
yes, I think, yes, and I think it's more care about than, and then you give them an image. Doesn't matter if they're informed or not, if they are informed, they understand, if they aren't informed, they still get the gut of it.
So, since we've been talking about HB1, I think for me that's a better term to use.
Mhm.
And the and we're talking about climate particularly. So I just heard David Roberts' Volt's podcast last week, where this got crystal clear. 90-minute interview with Adrian Devaney, who is an architect of the IRA, knows everything, start to, he wrote the thing to begin with, and his analysis, point by point by point by point, was this is written exactly to undo and reverse and go backwards on everything in the IRA.
Right,
It's
no,
not-
yes.
it's- And how did it happen? Oil and gas industry
Yeah, yes.
threatened by electric vehicles. And once he said that it's crystal clear, and you asked before, what's the most upsetting thing recently for me? That was it. And I realized nobody voted for that, undoing the IRA. It's the oil and gas industry literally writing the bill, literally writing the bill. Nobody voted for it. Most Americans care about climate, most Republicans care about climate. This didn't change, this didn't come from the election, this didn't come from the voters, even the centrists, or even further to the right. What's that?
Came from the Heritage.
The Heritage Foundation, the oil and gas industry explicitly, and, I'm sorry. So we get upset with those people, and yes, they're empowering it, and yes, they need to speak up, absolutely. But they should know who stole their environment.
Yeah. Yep.
And their future.
And I'm just gonna echo one image I heard, which is ballooning up the deficit. And so what about a balloon with the word deficit written on it, and somebody's just, who's maybe a
The big
dressed up.
beautiful bill is
Yes.
there with the bicycle pump.
Explodes.
Yes, it's beautiful. Okay, so I've already done these, pretty much, so thank you for being here, thank you for the honesty, the imagination, the humor, the clear, thoughtful ideas. I suggest, if you bond with somebody else, here or in your life, and start to work on these ideas. There's been, you came up with 30 gorgeous ideas that need to, and they can, just work with people, try them out, because think of, you remember, what was it, the ice bucket challenge? Not a great idea, not that exciting, went crazy. You've come up with better ideas here today. It's all in how you do it and how you push it out. And it's time that we start trying to push back for the actual principles that this country is founded on. And the respect and the humanity that is inside of all of us, of treating other people well.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you.
Could do the